And we begin tonight with breaking news in central Texas, where a massive explosion has leveled part of a small town near Waco.
Let's get you out there now to these pictures. This is video over the scene of the town of West, just north of Waco. Now, according to the Waco Tribune-Herald, that's the newspaper there, the explosion happened as firefighters were putting out this fire at a fertilizer plant. Now, every house, we're told, within a 4-block area has been blown apart. What you're looking at here is a triage area that has been set up at the local high school, West High School. As many as a dozen choppers have been coming in and going out, taking the injured to hospitals. Multiple fires, we're told, are still burning there, and also there are reports that people could be trapped in their homes. And I know the DPS has also told Reuters that a nursing home there in that area has collapsed, and they're trying to move people from that nursing home, get them out of that nursing home and to that triage area as quickly as they possibly can.
We want to go ahead and check in with a reporter from our sister station in Dallas, Todd Unger, who's with us via phone, who's just arrived on scene. Todd, what are you seeing there?
Hey there, guys. You mentioned that 4-block radius where these homes were leveled. We're outside pretty much on the edge of that, and I can tell you there are still a number of homes out here burning as we speak. They're trying to keep us as far back as we can, and the winds out here are gusting a good 25 to 30 miles per hour. So these flames are still moving from house to house, to be totally honest. We were driving down here on 35W, and the line, the traffic line, as you can imagine, is 9-10 miles long. There was a ton of emergency crews trying to get to this area just from Fort Worth and Dallas, and they were stuck in line because of a lot of construction there. There just isn't a lot of room along the shoulders. You mentioned back to the actual plant explosion itself that happened just before 8 o'clock tonight. Firefighters were there trying to put out another fire when then an explosion occurred right away, almost instantly. They had crews on the scene, and they set up a triage center at a nearby high school. We can tell you there's at least a dozen patients there in very serious condition. There have been a number of care flight helicopters in the area, as you can imagine. And that's, I mean, for right now, that's pretty much the latest. We're actually going to go and talk to some of these homeowners out here who are very emotional. But that's the latest from up here in West.
And Todd, you broke up a little bit. We know it's very windy out there. We can hear that with your cell phone. Can you set it a little bit and let us know how residential an area this is where this explosion took place?
Sure. West is a town of roughly 2,000, and as you said, it's near Waco, but the area that's being impacted is really the town itself, and the town has been told to evacuate. So that is complicating traffic, as you can imagine, although I could tell you just from the street we're on, which is heavily residential, and again, a number of homes have been lost. A lot of people are in their cars kind of watching, and it's an emotional thing. When you lose your house, you don't want to leave right away. So that's what we're seeing right here, but it is a town of about 2,000 here.
All right, Todd, thank you very much. We'll let you get out and do a little more reporting there. We want to bring in Brenda Perez, who works at a truck stop near that plant. And if you can, Brenda, describe what you saw and what you felt when this explosion occurred shortly after 8 o'clock tonight.
Well, I'm in Abbott, Texas, about 8 miles from West, and the explosion was just really unbearable. It was people coming in thinking it was some kind of a thunder, and before you looked up, you seen just a big ball of smoke. But we were sitting at the table eating lunch, and the tiles in my store actually, some of them fell out of the ceilings, and the glass, just like it sucked in and sucked out. It was just crazy.
And so you're saying you are 8 miles from this blast, and you could actually feel the concussion of that explosion.
Oh, yes.
And what are you seeing there now? Are you off of I-35, which is not too far from West?
Yes, I'm off of I-35, and the traffic has been backed up. It's just starting to move some now, but it was completely stopped.
And Brenda, do you know people working there at the truck stop that would be going back and forth to this plant?
I don't have anybody here right now that I know, but I know that I have people come in my store that are from around West.
Brenda, we're looking at some live aerials of some of the fires that we can see scattered in the area. Can you see any active flames from where you are right now?
No, I can't. Not right now. When it actually happened, like I said, we could see the ball of smoke that blew up in the air, but actual flames, I never did see.
All right. Well, Brenda, thank you so much. We appreciate that. We have been told that in Temple, the hospitals there in Temple have been told to expect anywhere between 100 and 200 people who could be coming in for treatment. As we told you initially, there is also a triage area that has been set up there, and they will be treating people according to the severity of those injuries. The most severely injured will be treated initially, then they'll work their way down the line. They'll be looking for crush injuries first, then cuts and bruises and lacerations and so forth down the line. They'll try to stabilize them there. Helicopters have been coming in, 8 or 9 helicopters we've been told so far, picking up people there and transporting them back to either Temple or to Waco, wherever they can get those people attention as quickly as they possibly can.
We want to check in now with Tim Woods with the Waco Tribune-Herald, who's on the phone right now. Tim, we're hearing that among the victims are children included in that. Do you have any details about who's been hurt here?
I do not, other than, at least I can't say specifically about children. I know that obviously there are several firefighters who were at the point of the blast when they were fighting the fire when the explosion occurred. And the mayor pro tem, Steve Vanek, has told us that he thinks that some of them may have been killed, but there's no official confirmation on that. We know that the fertilizer plant was near a nursing home, and many of the nursing home residents were evacuated with varying injuries to the football field, and some were taken by ambulance to various hospitals around town.
And Tim, we had heard from DPS that possibly that nursing home had collapsed and there could be people who were trapped inside there, and also that the same could be true with an apartment that's close to this plant. We were getting reports that from both people up in the west area that there was an apartment that where people were trapped. I have not gotten any word about our reporters have spoken with people at the nursing home, and I haven't gotten any word that the nursing home has collapsed.
Tim, we heard that authorities were going door-to-door checking residences in the area. Do you know if there's still an active search for survivors right now? I imagine there would be.
They are. They're combing the area. It's a combination of both evacuating people because it's still an ongoing situation, obviously. So they're evacuating people, and I'm assuming looking for people who are injured. One of our reporters who's there said that they were also trying to ensure that people weren't looting.
And Tim, we know that this was ammonium nitrate that they were trying to put down. Is there some concern at all about any kind of plume that could be spreading there because some of those fumes could be toxic?
I haven't gotten confirmation on that. I do know that they, again, because of both the danger for another explosion and possibly toxins in the air, that they have been trying to get people evacuated, within a certain radius around the fertilizer plant.
Now, we know from previous experience that this ammonium nitrate is extremely volatile, and it can interact with other chemicals or petroleum products, and it could trigger a massive explosion just like this. It's our understanding that when firefighters initially responded to this scene and were fighting this fire, that's when the explosion occurred. Is that your understanding?
That is correct. There were firefighters on the scene who were fighting it, and as they were in that process, that's when the explosion occurred.
Well, all right, Tim, thank you so much for your help. We know you have a lot of reporting to do there as well. We'll stay in touch. Thank you.
Another reporter we want to check in with right now is Matt Howardson, who's on scene. Matt, what are you looking at?
Hey guys, basically we have just been evacuated from the triage center, which is here at the football stadium in West. And it is a triage center, obviously, where many people are at being treated for injuries, wounds that have been caused by this blast that happened around 7:50 p.m. today. We all know that's at the West Fertilizer plant here, and as you can tell from the firefighter I believe you just talked with, or from the report you just talked with, it started as a structure fire, and from what we're being told, that it caused an anhydrous ammonia tank to explode. and that blast could be felt as far as Ennis, Texas, from what we're being said. And right now, everything's been a complete war zone. What I can tell you is I've never seen this many emergency responders in my life in one area. There are multiple people that have been wounded, that have been injured. Right now, we spoke with Michael Urban from the sergeant. He's a sergeant from the West Police Department, and he has not confirmed any deaths that have occurred from this blast as of yet, but he has said that there have been multiple injuries that have been reported and that people are being treated for those injuries here at this stadium in West. And what they're trying to do is right now is that there is within a 1 mile radius of the West fertilizer plant, they're trying to commit a mass evacuation, trying to get people away from it, because right now, when the blast started, there was multiple buildings that were on fire around the West fertilizer plant, and now currently those fires are out, and the only thing on fire is the West fertilizer plant currently. And they're afraid that one more anhydrous ammonia tank is going to blow. So currently right now at the scene, they're evacuating everybody within a 1 mile radius of that West fertilizer plant. And if you are in that 1 mile radius, they're asking you to leave the area immediately.
Now, Matt, do you have any idea how many people, workers, were at that plant, that fertilizer plant, when this explosion occurred?
Right now, we're not being told any details. Obviously, it's been pretty tight-lipped around here regarding anything regarding details. The sergeant that we spoke with from West didn't release us any information regardless of how many people worked there, or excuse me, regarding how many people worked there, but they did say that it was numerous people there. Firefighters were there fighting the fire, but now that total that were people that were working there and the firefighters that were working there is not known at this point.
We know that we've heard initial numbers, initial reports here, Matt, about dozens of people being transported, and that firefighters may have been hurt at the scene. Have you heard any more to that end?
We haven't at all, and we are actually being evacuated from our area right now. And so we have to honestly end this phone call, and I apologize. But right now, we have not heard, and this is straight from the West Police Department, we have not heard anything regarding injuries, firefighters that were injured. The only people that we saw at the triage were people that were injured around the fertilizer plant, which included a nursing home with elderly people that were in wheelchairs that had injuries.
All right, Matt Howardson, we know for safety's sake you have to get off the phone and evacuate that area. Thank you so much for providing the information tonight. We appreciate it.
All right, and we've also been told, we want to thank Matt for being here with us. We're also told by our sister station, KView, that people in West, now again, this is a town of around 2,000 to 3,000 people. Everyone in the town of West is being told to evacuate that town because of the risk of another explosion. I think we heard Matt Howardson say that there was a suspicion that another one of these ammonium nitrate tanks could blow, and that was the main concern, because the only fire that was currently active at this point was at that fertilizer plant, and there was a concern that one of the other tanks could blow. So the authorities are currently asking people in that area to leave. So we will continue to follow